Lei Shen is the 12th encounter in the Throne of Thunder. Lei Shen will put you and your raid through 3 main phases and 2 transitional phases. Upon entering the room, it's hard not to notice the 4 power conduits on the corners of the boss's platform. When the boss is near one of these conduits, he will gain another ability and will slowly grant the conduit power at a rate of 2 energy a second. If the conduit gets to 100 power, then the power will reset and the conduit will get stronger, as will Lei Shen's ability. If you try and tank the boss away from the conduit, Lei Shen will start using discharge energy, which deals more and more raid-wide damage and will eventually wipe the raid. Now, when the boss first finishes the first transition phase, the conduit with the most energy will be destroyed, and that area of the platform will be a giant void zone. Phase 1 will last until the boss hits 65% health. He will then enter a transition phase lasting for 45 seconds. He will up onto a platform in the middle where he'll be unattackable. This is where he'll use abilities from the conduits. Phase 2 will last until the boss reaches 30% health. The second transition phase will again last for 45 seconds, and Phase 3 will last until Lei Shen is killed. So before going into depth through each of the phases, it seems to make more sense to go through what each conduit will do to Lei Shen. The East conduit will give the boss Diffusion Chain, which is a chain lightning attack that deals a decent amount of damage. Each time it jumps, the ability deals more damage, although the ability jumps 10 yards, so everyone will need to spread out to avoid the ability jumping. And each time someone is hit by this, an ad will spawn called Diffused Lightning spawns, which cast lighter hitting chain lightnings. These ads will need to be killed when they spawn, and the stronger the conduit is, the stronger the ads will be. The Southern conduit will give the boss the ability to place a debuff called Overcharge on a raider. This will root the raider for 6 seconds and will then send out a ring of lightning coming from a location of the player, which will deal decent damage to anyone hit and stunning them for 3 seconds. Standing virtually on top of the raider provides a safe zone from this ability, so everyone needs to stack up on the affected player. The stronger the conduit is, the more people will be hit by Overcharge. The Western conduit will give the boss the ability Bouncing Bolt. This is where he'll target random spots on the platform with lightning bolts. When they hit the ground, they deal a good amount of damage split between players within 6 yards of where it lands. If no one is in range of the bolt, then an ad will spawn called an Unharnessed Power. If these ads do spawn, they need to be killed, but to prevent this, just have one person soaking each bolt. The bolt will keep bouncing if no one soaks it. The Northern conduit will grant Static Shock. This applies a debuff to a raider, which after 8 seconds will cause that player to deal a lot of damage split between people within 8 yards. You will need to have 1 to 3 people stacking on any affected players to split the damage. If on 25 man, then 4 or 5 will do. The more powerful the conduit is, the more people that will be hit by the Static Shock. So what the tank should be doing at the beginning of the fight is tanking the boss by the East conduit, allowing it to reach about 85 energy. Once there, move the boss to the next conduit until it reaches about 70 energy, and keep doing this. It is important not to let any of the conduits get stronger, so by the time you're on the 4th conduit, the boss should be going into transition.